The Arcturian Group, October 13, 2013. Greetings, dear people of the great planet Gaia. We rejoice with you as we observe the light flowing forth from into you at this time. Earth is moving quickly toward a new universal energy which increases with every person who opens their heart and mind to new and higher ways of seeing. We observe people the world over questioning and asking themselves if what they are being told by those in charge is actually true. This questioning indicates personal and universal receptivity to truth, which in turn brings focus and change to the myriad forms of powerlessness so many still experience. This is how change happens. The new receptivity of individual consciousness is bringing an awareness that man is much more than just a servant for those holding world power. Illusion increasingly dissolves with each soul who hears and heeds their inner voice and begins to awaken to the truth of who they really are. Most of the world does not yet understand the spiritual nature of the energetic changes taking place. They desire change because living as they have always known and accepted no longer resonates with them, and many are finding their voice, experiencing a new courage and strength with which to communicate and live in new ways. You are rapidly reaching the point at which more people are questioning the status quo than not, which is a sure sign of consciousness change. Do not expect change to manifest fully in one moment, but know that evolution on this grand scale must be a gradual process. You have lived many lifetimes in and of the third-dimensional energy that always reflects the pairs of opposites, experiences that are deeply ingrained physically, emotionally, and mentally. This is what is now clearing, releasing, and bringing the changes taking place within you. This will enable you to hold higher frequencies not present on Earth before. Be patient, dear ones, and know that when you gave your permission to ascend, your higher self began the process. You don't have to make it happen, it is happening, for it is the reality of you. It is time for every serious spiritual seeker to stop looking outside of themselves for light to come to them in some form or another and begin to realize, I am the light. This step must be taken if you are to move out of the old third-dimensional way of understanding the world. I am the way, the truth, and the light. Words not spoken simply by and for the Master Jesus, but words spoken by him in order to explain to those listening that I is not a personal I, but I is the divine, the one and only I, your true identity. Since the divine is all there is, it must also be your real self. How else could you exist? I is the name of the divine, and the words I am do not refer to one human being, but to the true essence of every being. I is a sacred word. Throughout time and even now, there are those who through gross ignorance and ego, have misinterpreted this truth to mean that they in their humanhood were God. In this false sense of self they always proceed to set up rules and teachings for others with dire consequences if not obeyed. Their spiritually ignorant followers more often than not do experience dire consequences of some sort, for in their choice to follow these false prophets they willingly give away their power. Many have sought in the past and still seek to find enlightenment through certain practices, churches, teachers, symbols, etc. All of which definitely help lead one to a certain point of enlightenment. However, there comes a point when the spiritual student must let go of these tools, and step into their own power and identity, or they will forever be students of truth, never realizing or experiencing truth. For those of you evolved enough to be understanding these messages, it is time for you to stop being students of one path or another and acknowledge that you are the path, the tool, the message. The tools are helpful up to a certain point, but become blocks when depended upon past the time when they were needed. The child must become an adult at some point, regardless of how comfortable it is to simply be told what to believe or what to do. We are not saying that you must give up your spiritual group or books and classes that may still speak to you, or any of your spiritual activities. We are saying that there comes a time when the student must begin to see the tools for what they are, tools that have helped you get to where you are, to the understanding that you already are complete, and whole, and abundant, and perfect, etc. Understand that there is nothing that can ever make you more than you already are, be it a person, book, relationship, path, drug, job, etc. Many of you are discovering that most books no longer speak to you in the way they used to. Honor that. This means that you are now able to receive your teaching from within. If you enjoy going to church each week, fine, but let go of the belief that if you miss or even stop going you will be less. Church is within you, do you understand? Crystals carry their own wonderful energy, but this energy can manifest no higher than the individual working with it, which is true of oils, colors, vibrations, etc., etc. These tools in the hands of a very evolved individuals can bring about change for good, but in the hands of someone with evil intent, they can bring about the opposite, representing the duality and separation that constitutes third-dimensional energy. It is the state of consciousness that determines how they are used, so let go of the power you have given to so many tools. When an individual buys a crystal guaranteed to bring abundance or healing or whatever, yet continues to live out from a consciousness of lack and limitation, that crystal's innate energy is limited to that individual's ability to channel the energy of it. This is the shift out of metaphysics and into mysticism. Mysticism is the realization that you already embody your true essence. Omnipresence, omnipotence, and omniscience. In the past, these divine qualities have been interpreted by the world at large through a lens of third-dimensional thinking, always appearing as a separation from what is needed, thus the need for tools, be they gurus, books, classes, ceremonies, etc. These things serve to lift an individual into a higher energy and are helpful for the beginner, but you are in the higher energy now. You reclaim your power the minute you realize I already am. This is the step most of you are ready for and is the difference between metaphysics and mysticism. Metaphysics works to change a bad picture into a good one. Mysticism sees nothing needing to be fixed, for it knows that good appearances and bad appearances are both the manifestations of the belief in duality and separation, two ends of the same stick. We are the Arcturian group. Channeled by Marilyn Raphael. www.onenessofall.com